Blood and Water by Anthony Blair. Pulain Kumala is a 16-year-old who lives with her mother and father, Julius Kumala. Pulain, after sneaking out to a party with her friend, she sees a girl that resembles her sister, Pume, who had been kidnapped shortly after birth. After talking and doing some research and investigating, she finds out that she goes by the name Fikile and not her sister. Shortly after, her father is arrested with the crime of human trafficking in front of the school. The police basically think that he is the one that sold his daughter off into slavery. Shortly after, she changes to the same school because of the embarrassment, and she is not convinced that she is not her sister. She's determined to find the truth of her kidnapped sister. Gen Z, from the start, is depicted as heavy partiers and drinkers, which we're going to get into. Then, but also seen as brave and determined to find truth and justice. Inaccurate and accurate representation. Becoming an adult / rite of passage. What is a rite of passage? A rite of passage is a celebration, ritual, or milestone of a person's life. In short, it is an event that holds significance to a person's life and overall significant progression in one's existence. Accurate represented. After Poulain goes on a date with Kaburo, or as his friends and father call him, KB, they decide to break inside the school with a bunch of other kids, and while in the school, KB and Poulain decide to have sex for the first time. Sexual discoveries. Sex as a concept has always been taboo, but because of this new and free way of thinking of Gen Z, people can express themselves and be comfortable exploring their sexualities. According to Dr. Ruth, A Guide to Teens and Sex Today, the social networking to friends, she says that the only person that you should have sex with is, quote, you know and love the best with heart and soul. And when you are fully informed and prepared, it should also be noted that the age of consent in Canada is 16 years old, and both the characters are 16 to 17 years old, Poulain being 16 and KB being 17. In this example that I provided, KB and Poulain are they both love each other very much, and both this sexual act that they do is consensual. Financial issues. What are financial issues? There are many types of financial issues. Depending on your tax bracket, things could vary dramatically. Generally speaking, financial issue is a problem with your income and overall financial balance. Inaccurate representation. Reese's mother has mental issues. Even though she is 17 years old, she has to be the breadwinner of her house in order to keep up with the bills and also her mother's medical things. She starts dealing heavy drugs. Eventually, her teacher catches her, but instead of calling the police, he wants in on the money, which is very inaccurate for a teacher. Financial issues and drug problems continued. There are many people and teens that have financial problems, but how the show represents the balance between school and home is not accurate. I believe that many teens would work and provide for their mother who is in need, but I do not think that selling drugs would be many of Gen Z's solutions. And I also don't think that the police would not be involved if a teacher found out that a kid was one of the dealers. Drugs are a big problem for young teens and young adults. In 2004, 1,000 adolescents 12 to 15 years old were diagnosed with drug addiction. They were drug addicts. And a small tip of the iceberg, over 16,000 minors are abusing drugs since 2005, and about 150,000 adolescents drug users have been recorded in Russia. But these are just only to record. In Canada, about 73% of people have outstanding debt or use payday loans at some point over the last 12 months. This just shows how easily parent/adult issues can be passed over to teens and children, including Gen Z. Theories. What is looking glass theory? This is a theory that sees how society is constructed and demands its citizens to function effectively. It is assumed that everyone in the family/society knows what their given roles are and performs them with great effectiveness. Fikile is a part of the swim team and also gets perfect attendance and perfect grade. She is polite to her parents and doesn't get in trouble at school. This is until her secret is outed that she has an inappropriate relationship with her teacher. This just shows that on the outside, looking in, looking glass theory, you can see someone that looks as a perfect life, but overall they could probably have some secrets. Theory. What is conflict theory? The theory looks at how societies are held together by power and not by individual or smaller groups holding them together. When Fikili's mother, Nubusa Bele, uses her power/money to change the DNA test, preventing her kidnapped daughter from knowing the truth of her origin and knowing that she is, in fact, sisters with Pulain. This just shows how money/power can still overthrow people working as hard as they can in a small group. Opportunities, issues, and challenges in the current day/society. Opportunity because of the new technology that our generation has, many people have opportunities of learning. Like for example, in 2020, archaeologists found that around 250 burial dates through 15th century AD, the graves are represented in various religions and economic statuses and contain some of the most valuable artifacts in the Roman world. This is just one way that my generation, Gen Z, has opportunities that many people don't. Technology is continuously thriving and picking up. Thus, we have more opportunities. Challenges. In the current climate of 2022, we still have global health crisis. Climate change is still one of the big issues in the world. Michael Mann has calculated scenarios based on this information. He's looked at warming estimates and carbon dioxide concentrations doubled 560 ppm from the normal levels. Scientists have seen 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius, to be the limit below which the planet will not suffer damages effects. Man is optimistic, estimated assuming rises of 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit, 2.5 degrees Celsius, and 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit as safe limits. Overall, the warming of the planet is something to still be as a challenge in our society in 2022. Final thoughts. Blood and Water is a show full of problems, but overall the people love each other while trying to get over this challenging part in their life of puberty and can move on their life to eventually become adults. Yes, in this show, there is very much, of course, since the genre is drama, they are fighting with each other. But overall, Pulain and Fikile and Pulain and all of her family, and also Fix or Fikile's family, both love each other, even though making mistakes of human trafficking and other dramatic displays in this show. So overall, like I've stated, that these people overall love each other, even though certain actions don't seem to show it. I hope you like this presentation. Goodbye.